This is a used 2005 Mazda RX-8. And it's a very special RX-8 because this is my RX-8. So at this point, you might be thinking that my bias will lean so heavily in favor of the car that I'll have no choice with the final verdict of this review but to give it a 12 thumbs up and call it a day. And you'd be right. But there's a reason for this. It's fun as hell! It wants you to come out and play. It wants you to hit that stratospheric red line. And it doesn't accelerate so quickly that your eyeballs implode. The RX-8 isn't really designed for that. 0 to 60 in 6 seconds is respectable, but it's nothing to write home about. But just look at that giant rev counter right in front of your face with the digital speed readout nestled in there like it was an afterthought. 9,000 RPM! Oh, and here's how fast you're going right now. And even when you do hit that red line, it doesn't feel like the revs are done going up. So it has to remind you with a beep that you have to go play in a different part of the gearbox. But brace yourselves, because here comes all the bad news. And the first of it is the gas mileage. Yes, it's a tiny 1.3 liter engine, but it's a Wankel rotary engine. So although it develops 238 horsepower, which is incredible for its size, it averages a pretty ridiculous 18 miles to the gallon if you drive it like you're as old as time, or dinosaurs, or Larry King. Yes, the RX-8 is a practical car. It has 4 doors, it has usable back seats, but the center console extends all the way to the back of the seats, which means you lose a seat. And it does have a trunk, unless of course you want peace of mind and you get the optional spare tire, in which case you're back to not having a trunk anymore. The previous owner of this car had a trunk. I chose peace of mind. But here's the RX-8's bad news parting piece. Now, I just turned the car on, and you can see that my temperature gauge is telling me that the engine is still cold, right? So far, what the car has done is dump a bunch of fuel into the cylinders, and the engine isn't hot enough to burn off that excess fuel after it shuts down. So, if I decide to turn the car off right now, there's a slight chance that the engine will flood, and it won't turn back on again after I'm done washing it or something. So that's kind of annoying. But on the plus side, while I wait for the engine to warm up before it's safe to shut down, it means I can sit in the stylish and very comfortable seats for a few extra minutes in an interior that feels very close quarters and intimate, look out the windshield onto the long sloping hood of the car, and see that rotary-themed V on the hood which looks suspiciously like the V-neck on a beautiful woman's dress. Because look at this car. Yes, I know it's a little busy on the design cues, but all the right shapes, all the right curves, all the right proportions are there. And that will look really awesome when you're barreling down the winding B roads. Because this is the RX-8's home. This is where it all comes together. The short, quick shifts of this wonderful 6-speed gearbox, the very responsive steering. Really, this car infuses you with so much confidence around the corners that you're free to concentrate on the joy of driving. And then there's the grip. It doesn't let go of the road. And when it does finally start to slide, the slide is so progressive. It's so easy to control that it doesn't feel like it's trying really hard to kill you. It's thinking about it, it's luring you closer to the edge, but it's not going to push you off the cliff when you get there. And you just come out of the corners with a giant, stupid grin on your face. I'm sorry, but if this car doesn't put a smile on your face, something is wrong with your face. Because despite its design flaws, its finicky engine, its high-maintenance engineering, somehow it manages to fill every ounce of you with giddy excitement. And you don't the design isn't perfect. You don't care that the acceleration doesn't collapse your lungs. You don't care that you have to fill up with premium gas every 10 feet. You drive wherever you drive. You park it far away from everyone. And every time you walk back to it, you can't help but smile, because you know it's just sitting there, itching to have fun again.